popular anchor in the country. The most popular news personality, and for good reason, man. 360 kicked ass, and he was, before Fox was fair and balanced, man, Anderson Cooper was pretty fair and balanced. And now Anderson Cooper couldn't be anything further from that. You are a shill, man. You are a cheerleader. The way that and this is what did it. Oh, and last but not least, Wolf Blitzer. Wolf Blitzer, who at one time, I mean, I'm not kidding. Wolf Blitzer at one time uh, made journalism look important in a way to me that I hadn't seen since I was a kid at my grandparents watching like the old CBS News with Dan Rather, and I mean, the it was different back in the day. I mean, these were respectable people, and they wouldn't raise their voice or be insulting or say that just go after a theory or a position without a shred of evidence, and it's not true. I mean, Dan Rather ended up getting fired because Dan Rather is just apparently as much a political hack as Anderson Cooper. I mean, and it's really sad. And I'm not saying that it's any different for Sean Hannity. I mean, Sean Hannity is clearly conservative, but Sean Hannity doesn't fucking claim anything else. Anderson Cooper has had this, and at one time deserved, mantle of objectivity and newsworthiness that he just pissed down the moment that Trump. I remember it. It was when Trump started saying fake news, and Anderson got all but hurt about it. And you know what? It was fake news because you guys were fucking fake. You knew shit that was happening, and you were reporting shit that was exactly against what you knew. That is fake fucking news. It's actually the identical thing to what you're doing right now, which is, Stormy Daniels, Stormy Daniels, Stormy Daniels. Yeah, okay, we get it, man. She's a porn star. Her and Trump did it, and all right, hey, whatever. And he paid this, and they had yeah, okay, whatever. Well, hey, you know what? Personally, and I actually have blogs that I've kept going back to this, where I can actually even prove this. That for years before Trump ever ran, I liked Bill Clinton, some of his policies. I didn't understand how shitty NAFTA was. That's just the truth. So I liked it. I didn't realize that it sucked. But no matter what you think of him, and he's Hillary appears to be the demanding portion, while Bill is the slippery guy. He knows how to get things done. You know, he's got that charm and everything. The only I thought that when he was impeached, you know, well, I mean, when he was going through the impeachment process and Ken Starr and all that happy shit, I thought that was pathetic on the part of the country as a whole. I thought that it was an abuse of power by the FBI that I still think it's an abuse of power. Yeah, he lied. He lied about having inappropriate relations with a young lady, which is not a crime. You know, yes, he was at the highest point in office, and he should set an example. Or, yeah, like who? Like whoever. Maybe George Washington did, but we know damn well John Adams didn't. We know damn well JFK didn't. I mean, go through history. Hey, there are plenty of good men that were not good men. You know, I should say plenty of successful men that were not good men. You know, and that's not really the point. The whole point, I mean, personalizing this and turning it into such a freaking dramedy all the damn time. It's just it's not even this whole shit and thing about Trump and about Russia isn't even about Trump and about Russia. It's about the fact that they do not like Donald Trump because he's abrasive and he says some really objectifying things, and sometimes he just honestly makes himself look like an ignorant ass. And he's been actually, they do not give him the credit, but I'll give him a world of credit. He has improved so much in maintaining his public persona since uh, I mean, let's look at what happened. He lured them into the Russia collusion frickin' investigation. He drew them into getting a special counsel for an investigation that he knew would lead back to all of this with Christopher Steele and and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and the FBI and the FBI working on behalf of Fusion GPS and Fusion GPS working on behalf of. I mean, some of this, and I know the FBI wasn't working on behalf of Fusion GPS, but they certainly were working on behalf of Hillary Clinton by using the information in the dossier, which even the first time it was brought up was called unverified. The first time most people heard it was from James Comey, and he called it salacious and unverified. The first time I had heard it was, and I'm sure it was from Alex Jones, who also, by the way, was the first people to really expose the Bilderbergs, which, if you don't know who the Bilderbergs are, check out my man Alex Jones. He's entertaining at the very least. He might piss you off, he might make you hate him, but he will enlighten you. He'll enlighten you in a way that you are never going to get from the mainstream media. Another guy who is fantastic. I don't even know his last name. He's just Lionel Nation. Guy's awesome. I like Lionel. There's a lot of people that will provide you with the information if you want to look. The Drudge Report is real good. There are people that are on the Q train, people that aren't on the Q train. We happen to be kind of, we're on it, but we're just kind of sliding from boxcar to boxcar, going through. So, yeah, John McCain. That's what Q thinks about John McCain. There's very good reason for that. John McCain, has he's been notorious. People say that he's a moderate and that he toes the line. No, he's a puppet, and he's doing what Daddy and Big Daddy are paying him to do. Which is, you can't let this legislation go through, so he doesn't let the legislation go through. It works out pretty well. I guess that's what happens when you have an unending black card from Raytheon that you use every single frickin' time to get elected. Yeah, for sure, man. Like I said, I just think that I don't think that John McCain will ever be able to effectively justify some of the decisions he's made in office, because he's never not that he's never been there for the public interest, but he's not. It hasn't been common. He has much more financial factors driving him. So, ladies and gentlemen, John McCain. I honestly do hope that you, if you have the old brain cancer, that I hope that you do well. Find yourself some cannabis that has both THC and CDP in it, and a fairly decent balance, because that's what you need to fight cancer. Get yourself some organic apricot seeds. Crush them up, 4 of them, 4 to 6 of them, 4 times a day. And don't eat anything out of a box or out of a can or out of a drive-through or that you get delivered. Don't eat any of that. Make as close to homemade foods as possible. and go over to select CELLECT.org and check out their products, and those products will boost your immune system while the other factors are working to heal your body. And you could also the Budwig protocol has proven effective time and time again. Um, One of the most effective things in history, as far as percentage wise of what was reported, and you can't get a large group to really work with because was the Rife machine, Royal Rife. I mean, too bad that being as effective as he was in saving lives and curing terminal cancer, stage 4 cancer, that other methods you wouldn't even attempt, you wouldn't even bother with because it's not going to work. They're dead. They're stage 4, they're terminal, they're going to die. It's comfort measure. It's time. Oh, you know what? We can feed them some chemo and drain thousands of dollars from them every single time they go in. If you can't justify why what is basically watered down rat poison costs thousands of dollars for one sitting just to make you sick, and as the University of Australia proved, I think, yeah, the University of Sydney, I think, those who had no treatments when diagnosed with terminal cancer not only had a higher rate of recovery, but had a longer lifespan from that point forward, and had a happier life because they didn't put themselves bankrupt. There is only one reason why chemotherapy still exists. It is. I'm not gonna say that it's not effective in every form of cancer treatment, but it's not effective in most, and it's an archaic way. And what I'll tell you is the apricot seeds, organic apricot seeds, ground up. Do not heat them. Just grind them up. Maybe throw them in some yogurt or in some cottage cheese or something. Um, don't there's a lot of alternatives to a lot of things, even white salt. I ordered a bag of Himalayan pink salt. The stuff is great. But just I've seen people cured of cancer by a few different methods, and I've seen this with one of the people who means most of, is among the top 5 people in the world to me, and I have a feeling had chemotherapy been an option that was taken in that person would be gone. They'd be dead because bottom line is that's how the vast majority die. Is the chemo kills you. You don't die from cancer. So, you know, and if you don't understand that arsenic in small doses over a longer period of time continually is probably a better way to kill cancer in your body than gigantic doses of some arsenic derivative anyway. Somebody was telling me that it costs up to $9,000 for one chemotherapy treatment, which I believe entirely. I really do, but I don't know. So how the hell do you justify that? How do you justify $500,000 for a heart surgery, replacing stents? That yes, they're very very finely manufactured, but they still cost about 6 cents a piece. And this is I'm not just making this situation up. I know this situation very well because someone that I cared about a lot went through it on several occasions. And had it not been for insurance and whatever, bottom line is nobody should have to have insurance. Nobody should need it. And you should not be able to charge $500,000 for a procedure that lasts less than an hour, and then basically staying in hotel loud and smells bad, which is the hospital, for a couple of days at what you're charging $100,000 a night. Is that what's happening? Because somebody justify that to me. And maybe I'll be able to, maybe I'll learn something. Maybe I'll change my opinion on it. But I think that the general problem with the